Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, mahalo to Longs Drugs Hawaii for sponsoring this show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longs Drugs for all your shopping needs. The man responsible for killing 17 people in a mass shooting at Parkland's Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in 2018 has been sentenced to life in prison. 24-year-old Nicholas Cruz pleaded guilty last year to 17 counts of murder and 17 counts of attempted murder in connection with the attack in Fort Lauderdale. 9 jurors in Cruz's penalty trial voted for death, but 3 recommended life in prison. Florida law requires unanimous agreement to hand down a death sentence. Prior to today's sentencing, Cruz faced 2 days of victim impact testimony. Parents, wives, siblings, and survivors tore into Cruz from a lectern 20 feet away. Some hoped prison justice would result in his death, while others said they wanted to carry out the deed themselves. Cruz will serve 17 consecutive life terms for the massacre and an additional 17 terms for those he wounded in the shooting. A 52-year-old man was cited this week after his dog was seen harassing an endangered Hawaiian monk seal. The Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources said the incident occurred on October 10th at Kaloko Honokohau National Historical Park on the Big Island. A witness was able to capture video of the encounter, which shows a medium-sized, short-haired white dog run up to and bark at a resting monk seal. The dog was wearing a harness without a leash. Officials were able to track down the dog's owner this week. He faces multiple fines from the Division of Conservation and Resources Enforcement, the National Park Service, and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The man is not being identified because people cited for monk seal harassment have received death threats in the past. The Hawaii Department of Health today reported 7 new coronavirus-related deaths and 1,017 new infections over the trailing week. That figure includes reinfections. Hawaii's COVID-19 death toll stands at 1,711, and health officials have recorded 362,834 cases since the start of the pandemic. The 7-day average of new cases declined to 165 from the 177 reported on October 26. The actual daily average of new cases is estimated to be higher due to unreported home test results. The state's average positivity rate also declined from 6.2% last week to 5.5% this week. There were 11.7 cases per 100,000 people, down from 12.5 last week. By island, there were 691 cases reported on Oahu, 121 on Hawaii Island, 119 on Maui, 63 on Kauai, 1 on Molokai, and 1 on Lanai. Another 21 infections were reported outside the state. Health officials said 78% of Hawaii residents have completed the primary series of COVID-19 vaccinations. About 43% got a booster in the last 12 months, and 11.8% received the new bivalent booster. Maui police suspect speed was a factor in an early morning crash that killed a 34-year-old man in Lahaina today. A white 2013 Toyota Corolla was traveling southbound on the Lahaina bypass when its driver lost control. The car crossed over a double solid yellow line and into an oncoming lane before it collided with a concrete wall near Lahaina Luna Road at about 12:30. Police said the car's front and side airbags deployed on impact, but the driver was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Meanwhile, a motorcyclist was critically injured in a collision in Leeward, Oahu early today. Honolulu police said a 27-year-old man riding a red 2002 Kawasaki motorcycle was traveling westbound on Farrington Highway in Nanakuli when he lost control. He crossed a grassy median and collided with a maroon 2001 Dodge Ram driven by a 49-year-old man at about this morning. The motorcyclist was not wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. Police said speed was a factor in the collision. Stocks fell sharply today on news that interest rates would climb higher as the Federal Reserve works to cool inflation. The Fed raised its benchmark rate by another 0.75 percentage point today as part of an aggressive strategy to slow the economy. It is the central bank's 6th rate hike this year. Markets rallied after Fed policymakers said they might slow the pace of rate increases, but those gains were erased after statements from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Powell said that the Fed might need to keep rates high to hold back the economy. The S&P 500 ended 2.5% lower after being up 1% earlier in the day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 1.5% and the Nasdaq Composite slid 3.4%. The Fed's interest rate increases have weighed heavily on the stock market this year. Today's hike raised the key short-term rate to a range of 3.75% to 4%, its highest level in 15 years. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.